Welcome, everybody, to today's session with Damien and Matilda Aurelier. This is the Impact Podcast with USA Benefits Group. I am hosting Manny Quinones, Division Leader of the Closers Division. Super excited to have this couple here, this power couple here with USA Benefits Group today. And we just kind of want to, pick their brains and ask them, how they got started in the insurance business and, go from there. So, guys, welcome. If you can, what were you doing, before you got into insurance?
Yeah. You want to start it?
Yeah, sure. So we're originally from upstate New York. We live just outside Tampa, Florida now. And I had started out selling real estate. When we moved to Florida, I started recruiting real estate agents for a big real estate company. And Damien had done a couple different things. He has a varied background. Started out as a plumber and then did a couple different things and landed at a big PNC agency in Tampa. And we were young and we didn't have any health insurance, which is the case for a lot of people. We didn't want to pay what it would cost through my job. I would have essentially been working for like half my paycheck to pay for health insurance, which is the case for a lot of people. And so we got it through an independent agent. And
I probably asked way too many inappropriate questions. Yeah. Like how much he made and like where he could work from and what states they were doing and how much he made per sale. And that ultimately led into us finding USABG. Mm-hmm. We got really, really lucky. We were very blessed to fall into USABG at our first FMO. We had absolutely no idea what we were doing, no red flags to look for, no green flags to look for. And I actually almost didn't take my appointment with USABG. I had met with 5 or 6 other agencies at that point. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Matilda. I was like, hey, I think I'm just going to let him know I'm not moving forward. I found a different agency. She's like, no, you've already booked it. Just take the phone call and then we'll make a decision from there. And thank God I did because we ended up coming here. Yeah, we got very, very lucky.
It's fate. It's funny how things happen, similar situation, going on Indeed and taking multiple interviews, people calling you and you to ultimately deciding is what company fits you best, right? I guess biggest thing is were there any struggles in the beginning, things that maybe people didn't see that maybe you guys came across on?
Yeah, for sure. Ours is probably not super unique, but a little unique. I left that big PNC agency. I was like, hey, not on bad terms. I was just like, I'm done. There's nothing that they were doing for me that I couldn't do for myself. They made me come into the office, they bought leads, and they made me do phone calls. I was like, I can do that on my own. We can figure that out. That's not that hard. So I started off by myself. I remember I left. The day that I left, they were like, well, can you give 2 weeks? I said, yeah, absolutely. No problem. They actually called me back into their office a little bit later. They're like, hey, with it being close to the end of the year, we just want morale to be up. Is it okay if you leave today? And I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. And on the inside, I was like, oh, thank God, we can get started sooner. Thank God. So I went home that day, told Matilda. She knew I was doing it, but let her know, hey, it happened. And we were in Publix later that night. She was like, well, what do you think you want to do? Because we hadn't had it super finalized yet. She's like, you're going to start looking for jobs? Or I was like, I'm never working for anyone ever again. And she was like, what? We had talked about it, right? I remember we were in Publix in the produce section. So that's what started it. But a month after I started on my own, Matilda's job got eliminated. Yeah. So Matilda at the time very much you're kind of bloom where you're planted. You can have a job and be perfectly fine.
I'm content. I'm a peacemaker.
Yeah. I was not. So I took a while to convince her to come on with me. It's like, well, your job eliminated. If it doesn't work out, just get another job. Let's just try it. So long way to get to your question. We had to replace 2 incomes very quickly in the beginning. Most people, they start and then their spouse comes later on. We had to replace 2 incomes. Now, we were super young, super broke. We had literally had nothing to lose. So that was probably the biggest struggle in the beginning. A couple other things, consistency. We were very, very inconsistent. We had this newfound freedom, going from school to college to jobs. We never had the amount of freedom that this allowed. It wasn't smart, but we would take days off. We'd go to the beach. We'd travel. I'd go on hunting trips.
Yeah, we just didn't know how to manage ourselves. That's saying if you don't learn to discipline yourself, somebody else will discipline you for the rest of your life. And we were in that phase where, a lot of people, you're used to getting up to an alarm because you have to be at work and all that. Yeah. And when that's removed, you really kind of figure out who you are. And you have to, now we have a schedule and we get up and we go to the gym and we have structure, but we've created that over time. Yeah. And honestly, creating that structure was one of the biggest challenges So
Yeah.
every time I meet with a new agent, every time I onboard a new agent, I am drilling down on organization and creating time blocks in their calendar, because
Yeah.
we have seen how just that one skill can create a lot of momentum.
Yeah, and that caused a lot of lack of progress, I guess is the best way to put it. Some agents come in, like you guys did, you come in and you crush it,
Yeah.
because like you come in and you do what you're supposed to do. We did not. So the business was profitable, but we weren't as profitable as we needed to be to also cover bills, right? So we're
Yeah.
funding the business, and luckily we had a good amount of savings left where we could float that. But yeah, it was super difficult the first year due to inconsistency.
I mean, it sounds like you guys had a why, without even knowing you had a why. Like you knew you didn't want to work for anybody else. You knew you wanted to work for yourselves because you saw like what working for somebody else ultimately looks like.
Yeah.
And I think, Matilda, you hit that right on the head. It's like, new agents coming on board is structure and consistency is big thing day one. Just because you don't report to an employer every day, you are the employer, and that's the thing that we teach, and try to educate. Number one is, what does a day in a life look like, for an insurance agent, were there any, I guess, trials, or did you ever think about quitting?
Oh my word.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure. We definitely thought about it. It was never a real possibility. Like we always thought, like, what if we did something else? But we never actually explored that. I think we did learn early on, like, there's no backdoor. There's no plan B. Like, we had to make this happen. I have no real practical skills. I was a plumber for a couple years. Doesn't mean I was good at it. There's a reason I don't do it anymore. I don't have a degree. I hated school. Like, sales and owning my own business is literally the only way that I'm ever going to have any sort of success in my life. So there were definitely times where, like, man, this is so much harder. Like, if we knew how hard it was going to be in that process of growing, maybe we wouldn't have done it. But now that we're on that backside of like getting through the tough phase, still growing, but getting through that really hard phase, we're so glad we stuck with it. Yeah. I'm sure there were times for you.
Oh my word. I mean, rough. It's just, I mean, one of the best ways I ever heard this explained was, in anything you do, there's a wall, and you're going to come up against the wall. And there's kind of two choices. You can choose to get through that, or you can quit and go do something else. Yeah. But the lie is that you won't hit a wall in that other thing. And how many times have we seen this? I see agents who come and they say, hey, I've been at 2, 3, 4, 5 agencies. And you have to start to understand, no matter where you go or what you're doing, you're going to hit that wall. And you just have to get through it eventually. Yeah. So yes, we are super thankful that we did the uncomfortable stuff, and we still stay uncomfortable. Yeah. So
I think this is also, this is only one of the only industries where there's people who are helping you that you don't pay. Like you guys, we would not be where we're at if it wasn't for you and Cam. And we haven't paid you guys a dime. Like, you guys have poured time and money and effort into us. Like, if I went and started a lawn care business, the guy down the street is not going to be like, hey, Damien, let me teach you how to steal my customers, right? Yeah. Like, that was never a possibility. So we could see all these people ahead of us. You guys just said, get through year 1. We're in year 2. You're like, all right, get to 24 months. Once you hit 24 months, it gets better. And it's just gotten better year after year after year. Because we just had those examples to look to. We're like, okay, we know where we're going.
So since we're on that topic, obviously there's so many different, insurance FMOs, IMOs that you could partner with. Yeah. When you after that year 1 mark, when you're with USABG, what kept you to keep going? Like, what was something that you're like, okay, year 1's over. Why do I keep doing this? What was something that drove you?
Yeah. 1, we started to see real money after year 1. Like, we started to see real money that I knew I was never going to make anywhere else. But we also just bought into the people. We were sold out to the people. I don't know that anybody loves the insurance industry. I'm sure there's a couple people out there, right? We all love helping people, but I don't know anyone that's like, I love dissecting insurance policies. Like, that's weird. If you do, awesome, but no one does. So we were sold out to the people. We have met very few people outside of USABG that are as sold out to helping other people as you and Cam, as you and Rick and Jess. Like, we were just so sold out to everybody in the leadership. That's what kept us.
Yeah, no, I think that's huge. And it's a big, hats off to USABG structure. Like, when, everything they do, and the day you sign up, the mentors that you're assigned with, your leaders, the trainings, obviously the carriers are there. We have tons of them, right? We could choose from.
Yeah.
So I guess, was there something in your journey, so after year 1, that maybe was an obstacle that you had to overcome for yourself?
Yeah.
I think like our first, talking about like starting to see success and goals and overcoming, I think our first real like financial goal was $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
That for us felt like a good, like, okay, we want to hit that. And now it's just a passing through point. But hitting that, I think, started to build a lot of belief
It
for
made it
us.
feel real.
Yeah, it made it feel real. And it doesn't take that long to do that, honestly. So that was really a cool kind of belief builder. And there's still obstacles because it's, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? So we still invest and stay uncomfortable today. Because there are a lot of people who get into, you know, a business insurance and they see a little success and they kind of get comfortable there, and we didn't want to do that. So we do try to keep ourselves in that discomfort and keep investing and keep stretching and hopefully bring a lot of people with us and helping them grow their careers.
Yeah. I think it's just learning how to like run a business too. I think there's two paths you can take in this career. Is you can be a really big producer and you just want to produce, right? You don't want to build a company necessarily. You don't want to build a team, and that's awesome. You can make a ton of money. Or you can build a company and build a team. Building a team and a company has a lot of different things that go with it. Like you're learning how to be a leader. You're learning how to manage the business. The biggest thing for us, again, I tell all of our agents, like I hammer it, they're probably sick of hearing it. You have to be consistent. That was probably our biggest challenge in the first year is I would buy leads. We'd have a great month. I go, man, I had a great month. I can save some money. I don't have to buy leads. We'd have a not so great month. I go, why didn't we have a great month? Oh, we didn't buy leads. And like we would repeat that. We probably repeat that process for like a year to a year and a half before it finally clicked. Like we have to be consistent with this. Like the amount of times we're like, how dumb are we? Like how long is it going to take for us to learn this lesson? Just stay consistent.
Yeah, I call it like the roller coaster effect, right? You have your highs and your lows, you know, and obviously in any business, you have to invest into it, right? So your marketing, whether it's supplies, with insurance, it's a little bit of everything. You know, and if you're not consistent, that's where you see those roller coasters. That's where you see your highs and lows. But, you know, ultimately, you guys honestly did something different, which, man, you know, I wasn't even doing, you know, when I started this business. You know, Cam and I built this very organic, leads, referrals, you know, stuff like that. You guys went another path though. You know, tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've built, honestly, mostly Matilda has built a really big referral business for us in our local community. We're like 15 minutes outside of Tampa, so it's a really big market, right? There's a ton of people moving there. There's small businesses everywhere. There's certain things that just stick in my brain. I remember we were in our tiny, like 500 square foot apartment. It was the most disgusting.
It was
apartment.
503 square feet.
It was
like literally, if anyone thinks he's exaggerating, that is
like,
a literal number.
We worked from there. We both worked from there. My desk was in the living room. It was fun, but it's funny to look back now.
Get an office. Rent a little office.
We were like, we just sat there. I was like, there's got to be another way to do this, right? Because we're hammering B leads. We're making money. I was like, there's got to be another way to do this. Like, I'm sick of sitting in the apartment. So we went on Eventbrite. We found a local networking group. We're like, let's just go to this and see what happens. And it bloomed for there. We ended up getting connected to a BNI group. We've been in that BNI group for 4.5 years. I mean, you can probably talk about that a little bit more, but the numbers wise, it's very, very profitable, right? It's like $1,000 a year, maybe $1,500 when you add in meals and coffees to do one-to-ones. But we did $500,000 in AV just last year from that one room. And that's only one source of business for us. And now we're ingrained in the community. It's at the point where we're getting 3, 4, 5 referrals a week. And that's nice when people are calling you. They're like, hey, so-and-so sent me. I need insurance. Just tell me what I need. And that's what I want to go with. And that's a really cool place to be. But that took a lot of time. And again, consistency. We've showed up every week, year in and year out for 4.5 years straight.
Yeah, I mean, it does a lot of things. One, it's really fun, right? Like if you enjoy being around people and you're social, I always tell agents, like, look, buying leads is a necessary evil. We all do it. None of us like to do it, but we all do it.
We still do.
We still do, absolutely. But you need to know your personality and you need to exploit your own strengths. And if you're a social person, you need to get around other people because that's a strength you have to use. So it does a lot of things. It's really fun. For me personally, it does help if you enjoy people and you love people. But it drives your client acquisition costs down quite a bit. And I don't know how specific we want to get into numbers today, but when I'm talking and having these conversations with agents, I can give you very granular numbers. And I do all the time because the cost to acquire a client from a lead is just always going to be higher. The close ratio is going to be lower. And so it's a more enjoyable, more organic way to do business.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, it's a good way to do it.
So, when you're recruiting agents, so now you guys are district leaders, you've been districts for a couple of years now, building a team. And I guess what is something that, I guess Matilda, like, what do you ask these agents as soon as you get on a call with them? What is something that, like, obviously they ask what they want, what's your comp level, all this kind of stuff. But I guess what do you look for in that agent?
Yeah. I think I look for what we had, which is hunger and the willingness to invest.
You got to make money. They need to make money right now.
I do. I think that you have to need this. I don't know if you can just want it. I think you have to need it. And I think that's with anything. If you're going to do something that's really difficult, I don't think you can just want it. I think you have, like, we needed to do this because we needed to pay rent.
Yeah.
It was like a very real and present demand for progress. So I'm looking for hunger. I'm looking for people who want to invest time and, honestly, money up front. I am super transparent with what it costs to be successful here, because that's what we were told when we came here.
Yep.
Our biggest thing was we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I say this all the time. We said, we were like, tell us what to do and we will do it.
Yeah.
And that is literally what we did, and that's what worked. And I give those same numbers, that same formula, in a lot of cases, that same lead vendor, et cetera, those same resources, and I give that to a new agent, and whether they take it and run with it is up to them.
Yep.
So in your opinion, an agent coming on board with us, they sign up. Do they have everything they need to succeed right here at USA Benefits Group?
100%. I mean, we came in, literally, it's scary how little we knew. It's
terrifying.
He had 6 months selling car insurance, right?
Yeah.
I had no health insurance experience. I mean, if I tell you how little I knew, it was scary, right? And so, but you don't need, I tell people all the time, you don't need to know anything to prospect, to pick up the phone and dial. And then once you have some cases to work, now we have something to work on. Now we'll take that and let's help you close your first few deals, make money, and you will learn so much more in those first few deals when you're seeing those pitches done, than you would sitting and watching a training. But guess what? We have those too. So we have everything that anybody needs.
Yeah. I mean, the value that USABG brings for our very low monthly cost, like insurance, there's probably 8 hours a day of training on the calendar, right? Whether it's live or recorded. There's shared resources as far as leads. Like, that's the biggest thing. We had a great conversation with Mike Curry, another division leader, last week, talking about a lead source. We're not on his team. We don't make him any money. He doesn't make us any money. And he gave me 45 minutes of like, hey, this is lead source is working and this is how you work it. Like, there is so many resources.
There's collaboration.
Yeah,
you can pick up the phone and call somebody. So they have everything they need. Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, no, that's something that was really important to me when I came on to USABG as well, as the collaboration, that everybody was willing to help everybody, no matter if you're on that person's team or not, because ultimately if that person does well, everybody does well, right? And then it just trickles down like a chain effect, right? So obviously there's a lot of changes in the health insurance industry over the last couple of years. I guess, where do you see the health insurance industry going?
Yeah, I think there's only going to be more opportunity. People are getting tired of paying super high premiums and being locked into particular plans. Where we're at right now, there's a lot of freedom. A lot of products were brought back that were taken away a few years ago. We're in a phase, I think, in the nation right now where there's a lot of choice, there's a lot of freedom, and there's only going to be more opportunity, not only for consumers, but also agents to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think flexibility is key, right? And that's one thing that we present when we have clients, is saying, hey, we're flexible. We're not capped to one or two products. We have an array of products that you can choose from, but we're going to make sure it fits your financial goals and your budget and obviously your health and day-to-day stuff. So that's great. I love that. What should agents focus on right now to stay ahead?
Consistency. Consistency.
Yeah.
We always tell our agents there's 3 things they need to do. They need to call their leads, they need to book appointments, and they need to go to trainings that are pertinent to them. Not every training, right? You can't do 8 hours of training a day and be productive. Do those 3 things consistently and you'll be successful. There's going to be things that you figure out along the way, but if you just stick to those 3, there's nothing that's going to stop you. You're going to make money, you're going to help people, you're going to build a book of business.
Yeah, consistency, structure, creating a schedule. Just like if you were to start like a 9 to 5 job, wake up every day, same time, do the same routine, and literally just hammer out your calendar. And just, one of my mentors in the business said, look at every day as a win. Try to get a win every single day for your business and for your clients, right? And that's something that we've done for, a long time now. This is a big one. So what are some of your long-term goals like over the next couple of years? What are you guys trying to accomplish?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you like talking about this. So you take.
Yeah, I feel like, so I feel like in most couples you have like a visionary and then you have like the detailed day to day.
Yeah. I'm
the
go to work guy.
The visionary. And I'll say these, big numbers sometimes and he's like, but hey, we still hit it. So I think we started this with the end in mind. Like it's not taboo to talk about it, I don't think, but a lot of us are building an agency that we can sell. And from the time we started here, that was one of the main things that attracted us from actually that big agency he was at. They were grooming him. They were saying, you're going to be our youngest agency owner in history. And then he found out that at that particular organization, you never own your book of business. And so that was...
I watched an agent who owned her office and book of business for 30 years, not hit a quota. And they took her book of business and sold it off to other agents in the area.
Yeah. So it's, as soon as he saw that was all he needed to see. And he was like, I'm out. And that was a big attractant here because we own our book. Yeah. So we forgot to mention that earlier, but that was one of those key things.
For sure.
So from the time we started here, we're like, man, we want to build something we can sell one day. And that's been one of the coolest things to just sort of see the lineage here and see other people achieve that. And so that's one of our big goals. And it doesn't mean that we're not here invested and excited to help everybody grow. But that's for sure a big goal that we have in the future.
Yeah. Well, we wanted true business ownership. That's what we wanted when we started, right? We didn't want, if my tax form at the end of the year says 1099, I want all the success and I want all the risk attached to that. I don't want someone telling me what to do. It doesn't mean you don't seek counsel with people who are ahead of you and successful, but I wanted to own it so we can set our family up for the future.
Yeah, that's the key part is you're building an asset. You have an asset product that you're working over the years that one day, yes, you can definitely sell and, sell it for a big number and, start again or, take care of your family at that point and do something else. I mean, that is honestly what intrigued me, because like I said, a lot of agents, when they come on board, they usually start at captive organizations that they don't realize. And, they're usually scarred, unfortunately, but that is the main focus at USABG, non-captive, own your book of business, array of products to sell in every single category, you're looking to sell, any kind of whatever you're trying to build your business in. You guys are really good at your numbers. Okay. Very impressed, year after year when we sit down, we do our goals and stuff like that. What was your growth last year?
Last year was 54%. And this year we're at 89 right now.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. So new agents listening to this podcast, guys, it can be done. It can be done in a short period of time. Keywords today from these two individuals is being consistent, having a structure, having a plan in place, and just going after it.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else you guys want to say and mention?
Yeah, I think just one thing, I know you probably have something. One thing I wanted to mention that we didn't mention earlier, I think you need to, for any new agent or seasoned agent, you need to pick, it sounds cheesy, but you do need to pick a why. And sometimes that why comes before you can fulfill that obligation or after. And what I mean by that, I think the moment we knew we were bought into this and into USABG in this industry, Matilda's grandfather. So we're in the gym on a Thursday morning. Matilda's on the treadmill. I'm doing whatever. She gets a phone call that her grandfather's not doing well, like very, very bad. So we booked a one-way flight back up to New York where we're from. And we were there for 6 weeks. Business didn't skip a beat. She helped take care of him. She was probably the only one in the entire world that could have gotten him to go to the doctor, because like it wouldn't have been good if we didn't make it there. Like he might not be here if we didn't start this and create the opportunity and the time and the freedom to be able to go up there. So that's super important. Like the money's cool, the stuff's cool, the toys are cool. That's what's really important to us. And you just have to pick what's important to you and just keep that in front of you. Because if you don't have that, it's going to get really hard. And if you don't have any reason to go through it, you're just going to quit and it's just not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think that's a huge point. The why is honestly why we still get up every day and do this for our family, for our kids, for our freedom. flexibility that we can do and run a business as we see fit, right? No, I appreciate you guys taking the time today. I know you're busy, but yeah, appreciate it. And you know, hopefully we have more of these conversations in the future. But yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate your time today.
Good seeing you. Later.
Cool.